like one thing. There's another interesting thing is like you have a very cool background. Swiss Egyptian.
The cool one is probably Swiss. The hot one is Egyptian.
When you said cool, I was like, oh, okay, it's interesting. Cool meaning like cool, and then like hot.
I have how do you call that? Medium temperature background.
Medium temperature, like warm water, lukewarm water, lukewarm background.
Sorry, I didn't want to turn around the words in your mouth.
But, no. What I mean is, no, it's actually very interesting because
you like the fact that I have a mixed background.
No, it's not that. It's just that. See, a lot of people I know with like even in Sri Lanka, in a lot of backgrounds, you have like you go through like identity crisis, right? You're like, okay, where do I belong? What do I do? But then you like the fact that you have that, and then you don't have like you're a pretty chill guy, right? I found that interesting. I don't know. That's why I brought the whole thing up.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So there's a lot of culture issues here in Sri Lanka because you have a lot of different ethnicities, you have a lot of different religions, you have a lot of different skin colors, whatever you want to call it. But I mean, so that's a very interesting thing. That is, I don't know if that has something to do with me. In the end, we are all mixed, you know, like
for sure.
Everyone is mixed.
Absolutely.
If you're mixed out of two parents that are white, or out of two parents that are black, or a parent that is black and one that is white, or brown, or yellow, or whatever you call it, in the end, we're all mixed. I mean, I don't know who was pure, but that guy or that girl or that guy is long way ago. So we don't even want to go there.
Yeah, for sure.
But in the end, it depends on you. It depends on you, or it depends on me, or whoever it is. It depends on us how we look at this. If you look at yourself as a brown guy, you automatically judge the other guy to be white. If you look at yourself as a human being, the other is also a human being. Sure. So it depends on you how you see yourself. I don't see myself as white or as black or even as brown or as yellow. I mean, I have everything.
You're African, you're white,
and the same you, man. Look at yourself.
For sure.
There's parts of your body that are brown, some hair that is black, your eyes are white. You're also everything. Sure. Everyone is everything.
Sure.
And I think by the moment where you start separating, that's where you have your conflict with your identity. That's what he said.
But don't you think like so forget about race. Like let's not talk about race really. Like culturally, that's what I think. That's where it arises. Because
what means culture to you?
So okay, for example, let me tell you from my experience, right? Now, most Muslims in Sri Lanka.
Religion then. We come up to the religion.
Muslims culturally don't feel like they fit in.
So religion belongs to culture for you?
Not. You're putting me in a really tough spot.
If else you have to let the religion out. If you say culture and religion,
forget about religion. Okay, so let's talk about food. Okay, the fact that it's food, right? Okay. Not even food. Let's say traditions, right?
Okay.
Traditions or whatever, are very different to like the traditions of.
Where do traditions come from?
Religion. Can be religion, can be culture.
We can talk about religion, man.
Can be temperature, can be like, I mean, if you're like living in a humid environment, you have culture, you grow up, your times of waking, sleep, all that depends on that environment, right? So obviously it's not just one thing, it's not just race, it's not, I don't think it's just one thing.
Yeah.
But I see where you're getting there. I get it.
But wherever you want to go, man.
So, no, so what I mean is Muslims in Sri Lanka.
Yes.
Right? Moors especially Moors, right? Moors are basically people who came from India, people who came from the Arab countries, traders, they have generations, families, intermingled with a lot of local folk, right? I mean, there are Muslims with singular last names and stuff like that, first names, last names. So, like a lot of Moors, these people are very they feel very removed, culturally they feel different from, like identity wise, they feel different from Sri Lankans, right? Okay. So they feel like, okay, they don't belong in the Sri Lankan narrative, They don't belong in the Indian narrative because they're not Indian. They don't belong in the Arab narrative, right? They're just like a mix, obviously, but then they don't feel like they fit in anywhere. So if you look at, like, for example, last 10 years, this is very visible in the sense that how a lot of Muslims started adopting the Arab garb, you know, the thobe and the abaya and the face cover and all that shit.
So they identify themselves with Arabs.
Because they felt like maybe that's a connection that I can use, you know, like a Muslim. I remember even I used to think like that. It was like, okay, culturally I'm not like Sri Lankans, so I'm gonna, like, you know, be identifying or dressing like Arabs. You know, maybe like call myself Abu something or something.
But even the Islam says everyone is the same, no?
No, it's just different.
What does it say? We all one.
Okay. Huh?
We all one, no?
I mean, it says we are one. It says there's no difference between two people and whatever. But it says that there is cultures. There is the fact that it's clearly stated, which is something very interesting.
One of my favorite verses. But you don't have to identify yourself with one of them.
True. But what it says, like, Islam is like a uniting factor. Like, even though, that's one of my favorite quotes in the Quran. It says, the God created races and cultures and languages and all the different languages, different cultures, different types of people, different looking people, so that you basically get along, work together with different minds, rather than, you know, be divisive, right? So, and then this religion is like a uniting factor or like a common medium or whatever. But in a case of like a country with like one religion or whatever, which I don't believe should exist, to be honest, it's boring. It becomes very boring. I was born and bred in Saudi, so I know boring, right? So that's what I mean. You get what I mean. So that mix, that pot, you feel lost, right? And it's very common, like in people, like from Desi guys who go to, or Arab guys who go to the US. Yeah. There's also a show around this.
I mean, the one that feels lost decides to feel lost. If you want to be lost, go for it. You don't have to feel lost. That's your own decision, and everyone owns the decision.
Perspective.
Everyone decides himself if he wants to be lost or not. You can be whatever you are as long as you accept everything else and you don't separate yourself. It doesn't matter if it's religion or skin color. It's the same thing. So if I tell you what I told you before, if you see everyone as a human being, everyone is the same. You can still be a Muslim, you can still be a Buddhist, you can still be a Christian or any other religion that is not one of the world religions, but don't look at the others as something else. They are human beings, so don't separate yourself from them and you will not feel lost, you will feel united with everyone. That's the first step. You can go on with this, there is more. If we say we are human beings, we separate ourselves from the animal world and the plants and every other living being. So maybe better you say you're a living being. Put it there, and then we're all the same. You're not lost. We're all together.
Absolutely, that's a great perspective. Honestly, that's a great perspective.
It's a neutral perspective.
It's a neutral perspective. It's not extremes of one end or whatever.
Because I don't put myself on any side, and I will never do this.
I like that. That's so.
You can do that too.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
You don't have to let go of any religion or anything that you have. Sure. Just be yourself.
For sure. No, I get what you mean. That's. See, I've been in situations where I tell myself that, but I don't think most people put it into action.
That's their decision.
Maybe it's a subconscious thing. Maybe it's the way I mean, not to point fingers or blame or whatever.
For sure, it's a subconscious thing. Everyone feels attacked, but they decide to feel attacked. You can only see others the way you see yourself. If you see someone else as a racist, you're one. Automatically. If you see someone else as a black guy, you're one. It's the same. You can only see others the way you see yourself. And the same way is the opposite. The others can only see you the way you see yourself.
You can see others the way you see yourself.
Only the way you see yourself you can see others. And others can only see you the way you see yourself. Or they see themselves. It doesn't matter. You can put it in any way.
some deep shit, man. It's really awesome. Like, it's really awesome. No, so one of the yes, absolutely. I absolutely 100%.
It's good you recorded that. You can listen to it again.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's exactly why I did it, man. This is exactly why, because I want to go through this again. And like, actually, because now I'm not interviewing. I'm like having a conversation, but I'm trying to, have the conversation, yeah?
So basically, if you don't want to be lost, everyone is a Muslim, everyone is a Buddhist, everyone is a Christian, everyone is whatever else religion there are existing. The ones that put themselves only in one religion, they're the ones that separate themselves from the rest and get lost. It doesn't mean you cannot be Muslim, but you have to be everything. You cannot be only one. If else you separate yourself,
True.
No judging any religion here. I don't have a problem with any religion. True. So if someone asks me what's my religion, I say I have no religion. And then someone tells me, so you have to have a religion. Like Halik told me this, everyone has a religion. So I said, okay, then I have every religion. Then I'm all of them.
And you say that not to be like, oh, everyone is equal, but you say that because most people who say that
because that's the only way it is.
Yeah, so I
believe in what is.
There's two different ways like people think about that. So some people say that just to like say that, oh, like
I'm sure there's more than two.
Maybe, but maybe. But I see like when people say that, there's like, oh, it's to coexist or whatever. It's like, no, everyone is different, but everyone is equal, whatever. But the way you're saying it, like, it doesn't even matter. Like, you say that because you think that that's going to be a factor.
I don't want to compare.
Yeah. That's a nice one.
I don't need to compare anything.
Why am I trying to